Hi everyone, my name is Miya Shen, and I'm super happy to be here today to share my experience in making virtual clothing. Thanks to Biomi Collective and SRD for offering me this. So today I'm going to talk a bit about my work on digital fashion for the beginners and people that are interested in making this. Firstly, let me tell a bit about myself. My name is Miya Shen, and I'm CG generalist, currently working in Shanghai. I'm from a designer background, graduated from Edinburgh University, and then I got my second degree at National Film and Television School with my major in visual effects. And my tools are mainly Maya, Houdini, Marvelous Designer, Adobe softwares, and Unreal. You can find me here. So why I started doing it? It all started when I was working as a junior CG asset builder at Bait Studio in Wales. At that time, I didn't know how to do proper cloth simulation, so I did this. I used the mix mode to generate free rigs and free animation for the characters I made with Adobe Fuse, which you'd probably think is too low poly and not realistic. But we used them for the crowd simulation in the film, and it was pretty alright with a little magic help from the compositors. At that time, I used Houdini for simple cloth simulation, so I can create something like this. But then I realized I'd wish to do more complicated work about clothing, so I started teaching myself Marvelous Designer. And here's some of my work. My workflow is normally to prepare an animated character first, then decide on what clothes to make, what fabric and textures to go with it, and finally simulate, export, and render. In all of this, the most exciting part is definitely figuring out how to create the clothing simply based on a vision or maybe a photo on the internet. Sometimes I would start with a photo, then we'll make some patterns based on how many pieces should be put together to construct this. I'd use different fabric to give them various physical property presets, so they would simulate like cotton or like leather or like silk. Once I'm satisfied with what I see in the animation panel, I'll export it and create the textures in Substance Painter. I can try to make photorealistic look out of it, or I could also get creative. And because of this work I do, I am lucky to start to learn a bit about my own culture. While I was making Qipao, I realized why so many people are still fascinated by it, even until now. I know it is made from a single piece of material, but I didn't know its tight-fitting shape around the body, iconic panko button, and the classic collar design could make women look so elegant and neat. Quite the opposite, Hanfu, however, as one of the traditional types of Chinese clothing, has a lot of different layers. In recent years, the Hanfu movement appears to be an ongoing social movement, which aims at making it popular to promote traditional Chinese culture. And I'm happy to be one of them to promote the digital version of it. Recently, I've been doing Houdini with procedural modeling to create something like this. And in the future, I'm hoping to combine my skills in Houdini and my skills in Marvelous Designer to create some cool clothing with cool effects. So thanks again for watching this really small talk. Thanks for Biomi Collective and SRD for inviting me. Feel free to contact me if you want to work with me or if you want to talk about future projects. Thanks.